Now this is going to be very useful for us. The reason being, if I wanted to analyze what is the maximum number of quantity or what is the minimum number of quantity or what will be the sum of all those quantities. So in this case, I will be able to use the functions that I have in Excel and I can easily calculate it out. So let us understand that if I want to find out what will be the total number of quantities that have been coming up. So here we can actually do that with the help of a simple sum. I'll just show. We can do that with a simple sum formula. So we have auto sum over here, or we can simply say sum. So sum formula, you can use it over here and you can get the answer. So let us say I wanted to find out over here the maximum quantity or the total quantity. So I'll just use the sum formula. So when you click on sum formula, it will ask you equal to sum, the bracket opens. Sum is the function. The bracket opens means it will ask you what is the range. So now once you click on into the range part, it will ask you over here what is the first number, what is the second number. So you can simply do that by clicking on E5 first if you want to use that, then comma, then go to E6, then comma, then go to E7, comma, E8 and so on. But if this is the case and if you want to get the entries, all the entries together, then what you can do is instead of clicking for every single entry, you can simply select all the data that is there by just clicking it and dragging it till the end. So this is one way of doing it. So I'll just click. I have kept my mouse clicked. I have dragged it down till the end and now I will leave my click. So the moment I do that, I have E5 to E204. This colon in between is suggesting that it is the record from E5 to E204. So E204 is the last entry and E5 is the first entry, the total of which is 200 and 200 of 200. All the quantities are right now into my formula cell. So if I press enter over here, instantly I will be getting the total number of entries. So let me press enter. So when I press enter, I have got the total number of entries that are there over here in this quantity part. Okay, so this is how we get a sum. But this was one way. Now let us say the record is quite big enough. So I'll just remove this back. Now let us say the record is very big enough. It is not in hundreds, it is not in thousands, it is maybe say let us in tens of thousands. So in this case what I'll do is I'll just click over here on quantity once and after that I will just press again Control, Shift and down arrow key. So Control, Shift and down arrow key is nothing but again the shortcut to select all the fields that are there into that particular range without removing the selection. So now again it goes till the next blank cell is available. So my next blank cell is available at 205. So before that it will stop and it will consider that as a range. So this is what we call it as a range as well. So now let us press enter. I will get the same value obviously. I will get the same value but in a easier and a quicker way. So this is how you can use the shortcut as well and this becomes your sum. This becomes your sum. Okay, this is the value for your sum. Now let us say I want to get a value for my sum but only for a category which is coming under audio. So now how do we do that? So if I want to find out the sum of all the products that was sold in the category of audio, so what I'll do is I'll just name this over here as audio and now I will be trying to find out which particular cell is coming under audio and I will sum it up. So let us say equal to sum and then I will click on this, comma, then I'll click on audio again over here, comma, then I'll click on audio over here again, comma. But again this is a problem. I'll have to search for every single audio input and I'll have to find out which of the audio input is fine enough for me. So instead of that, what I'll do is I will use some other formula called as sum ifs. Sum ifs means what? It says that you will be summing up a particular range but only with these amount of inputs. So let us say what I want to sum up is I want to sum up the values from this entire range. I want to sum up the entire range over here. I want to get the entire range summed up with a criteria. So criteria, which is the criteria over here? My criteria is nothing but audio. But audio also first needs to have a criteria range. So where is my criteria range over here? First we'll talk about the criteria range. So this is my criteria range. So the moment I do that, this is my criteria range I have taken and comma, once I press comma again, what next is it asking me is, it is asking me the criteria for the range 1. So this is my range 1 criteria range 1, and in this criteria range 1, what I want to select as my criteria. We will just click on the audio part, audio cell, which is given over here. So the moment I do that, I'll press enter and I'm getting my number of products that are being sold under the category audio. So this is a sum that I've got for audio now. Okay, so this is if I am trying to find out what would be the different kind of categories. If I want to just find out from different categories what would be the answer for a particular range. Now let us say if I wanted to find out which category is having, or maybe which of these sales are having more than 10. So I want to find out I want to just find out the sum of all those products being sold with having a quantity more than 10. So in this case, what I'll do over here is I'll just try to first name up over here. It is more than 10. So more than 10 means, now what I'll do is I'll just click over here equal to sum. I'll just click over here as equal to sum, and instead of sum I will now be using the next function which is called as sum if. So sum if means it will just give you a range and a criteria for that particular range. So let us say first of all the range is this range. This is my range, and what is my criteria? The criteria is saying that it is supposed to be more than 10. So again into double inverted commas, I will just use my criteria is more than 10, and now press enter. You will get the total number of products that are having quantity more than 10, the sum of which is 944. So I hope this is clear amongst sum ifs and sum if. Sum if has only one criteria, that will be amongst the range. If you have multiple criterias, then it will be coming under this. So let us say now, let us even talk about if I want to find out the sum of, let us say mic cables, or let us say keyboard. I want to find out sum of a keyboard. So if I want to find out the sum of a keyboard, what will I do? So here in this case, because keyboard will come only on the computer, so instead of using the category as well as the name of the product, what we do is we'll just use the name of the product as our criteria range, and I will find out the criteria as keyboard. So let us start writing our formula is equal to sum ifs, and I'll select the range. So in bracket we will start writing now what is the range. Let us say this time I want to find out what is the total amount that I have earned because of the keyboard. So from here I will use the amount column, and in that I will just go and click Control Shift and down key. So this gives me the range of which I want to sum, and in this, after that I will now go on to the range where I will be finding my keyboard. So here is the range for my keyboard. Again Control Shift down and then comma, and next what we have to do is select any one of the keyboard cells and press enter. And once we do that, we can see over here that the total number of amount that was earned because of the keyboard in the total is coming out to be 44,850. So this is how we can actually use the sum if and sum if functions of Excel. Now there could be many other functions also. Now let us say I want to again find out keyboards, but keyboards those who have bought should be more than 5. Only if it is more than 5 we will be taking it as a consideration as a total of that. So let us say I want to find out sum of keyboard but with sales more than 5. With sales more than 5, number should be more than 5, so quantity has to be more than 5. So in this case I'll again use sum ifs, the function. In this again I have the first as the criteria, the sum range. Then I will go to my criteria range number 1. My criteria range number 1 says what? Okay, I messed out the comma. So here I'll go and put up my criteria range. So the criteria range is what? My criteria range says that it is supposed to be a keyboard, comma, I will now go for the second criteria range. The second criteria range is nothing but my quantity. So I'll use the quantity over here, control shift down, again comma, and I will now type over here that it is supposed to be more than 5. Only if it is more than 5, then only it should be calculating it. So when I press enter, it will give me an amount that more than 5, the keyboards when they are sold more than 5, the amount is 41,600. Only for the keyboard the total is 44,850, but for keyboards when the quantity is more than 5, it is 41,600. So these are the few things that we can actually find out, or we can actually understand. Now instead of summing it up, we will now find out what is the counts. What are let us understand the counts. But before that, I would like to just bring over here. Here we can see that all the columns are uniformly distributed according to the width, but we don't need that. It is not easily understood. So instead of that, what I'll do is I'll select all these columns, and when we have this extender pointer, we will just double click on any one of the arrows or any one of the columns over here in between of that, and once you do that, you will be able to get the width distributed as the maximum width required. So if you see serial number is the maximum, hence it is taking that as the width. Here Maharashtra is the maximum, so Maharashtra's width is taken. Here we may be having home theater systems as the maximum, so that is taken. Same way over here, so home theater again is the maximum, so that is taken as the limit. Quantity is maximum, over here price is maximum, and here amount is maximum. So in this case, all in these cases, we will be able to get, it will decide on its own which one is the maximum, and it will set the width accordingly. So now it looks good enough, and now we will try to find out number of quantities. Instead of summing up them, now we'll just try to count. So let us understand what is the count function. So the first count function, it is, let us directly write it down, C-O-U-N-T. By the function's name itself, we can understand the count means it will be counting. What will be the total, or what will be the total number of entries are there, and so on. So let us say I will count from this point to this point. I know it is 200, but the moment I press enter, it will return me a value of just 200. So this is my count function. Same way, if I want to find out count if, I want to count if, I will count if the total number of quantities that are there, total number of quantities that are there which are more than 10. So let us say I want to count if for more than 10. So in this case, again I will start typing equal to count if, and just click from this first cell to control shift down arrow. It will give you the range, comma, then you will be typing over here, it is supposed to be more than 10, inverted commas, bracket close, press enter. So this is what you get. There are, out of 200 entries, 71 entries are having quantities more than 10. So whatever is the sale, that doesn't matter, but this is what it is meaning over here. Now let us say I want to find out count if, but not only with one particular range, I want multiple ranges over there. So I'll do one thing, I'll do count if for more than 10. Let us say we'll take it again as more than 10. And we want to find out for only, let us say, subwoofers. So subwoofers is my second criteria. So I'll just type over here. Again, in the same way where we have used our sum function, we will be using the same kind of a formula over here. COUNTIFS, count ifs, bracket open. I will first get into my criteria range 1, where I will now be putting up what will be my criteria range 1, the criteria. So here the criteria comes out to be my more than 10, as we have already mentioned there, comma, my criteria range 2 is, this is my criteria range 2. So here I have my criteria range as all the type of products that are available, comma, I will just type down over there, I'll just click on that particular cell which is saying subwoofer. So this is only one time, so I'll just click on that and press enter. 6 are the number of quantities that are having more than 10 as the quantities for subwoofer in the entire 200 entries. So there are 6 entries which are having quantity of more than 10, as well as they are just for subwoofers. So this is how Excel will help you for all these kind of analysis that we require always to be done. Now the next is, after this we may also be finding out what will be the maximum values, what will be the minimum values. So let us use the max and minimum functions over here, as well as average. So if I want to find out what is the maximum number of quantities, so I can simply use that maximum equal to, I will just start typing, equal to max. Max is the function itself, and max, in that I will just type, go into the range and close the bracket, press enter. So we get the maximum value, which is 15. Same way I can use minimum value. Now instead of again and again typing all the formulas or all the things again and again, what we can do is we can actually use the reference cells and the same formula and find out the values over here. So let us say if I want to find out what is the maximum price available into this entire data, or what is the maximum amount that was taken in this entire data. So if I want to do in that case, what I can do is I can simply use the drag button, drag mouse pointer, which comes at exactly the lower right corner. So lower right of the corner of any of the cells, this is my selection cell, this is my moving cell, or we can say the moving pointer. It can actually move it here and there. And the third one is dragging pointer. So this dragging pointer, if you use and if you drag accordingly further, what it will do is it will actually take away all these cells and also copy forward. So let us drag this, and moment we drag it to price and amount, we will be able to see that maximum price now over here is coming in this column, maximum amount over here is coming in this column. So it is very easily giving you the maximum number over in all the 3 cases, where my quantity is 15, maximum number of quantities, maximum number of products being sold at a given point of time or in a given entry, maximum number or maximum amount or maximum price that we have for a given product is 13,200, and maximum amount which we had because of only one sale was 1,98,000. So this is how we get the different formulas for, different values for the max function. Similarly, we can also use minimum function. What is the minimum sale that we got? So we have to first type in as equal to minimum, and then again select the same range and close the bracket, press enter. So minimum is 1. So I have one quantity which was being sold. Same way I will try to find out what is the minimum price over here, which is 150, and what is the minimum amount, which is 230. So 230 is the minimum amount. That is how we have got the answer. The third one is average. We want to find out the average of all these entries that are there. So let us just find out. This data may not be so very good for finding out an average, but if at all we are required to do so, we can simply use the function average, open bracket, select these cells, control shift enter, and there you go. We have the average as 8.355. Then we can drag it further. We have the average over here as 2250. We have the average over here as 19,286.7. Now this is a function which is giving you an average value, so definitely it will be having the values in terms of decimal. Now let us say we don't want a decimal, we just want to find out a whole number. So in this case there are 2 ways of doing it. It will be either you can shift or decrease the decimal or increase the decimal. So there are 2 options available over here in the number group, but this will not actually round it off. It will just shift the decimal and it will give you the reading. So now when I do that, when I click it for the first time, my first last digit which is there in the decimal will be removed. So we can see that, and it has rounded off to the next one. Actually it has not rounded off, it has just shown the rounded off value. Now again if I do that, it will become 8.4, and once again if I do that, it will simply stay at 8 because it is not having a value which is more than half of capable of going to 9. So in this case what we have to do is, now but if you copy this, let us copy this particular value that we had, and I'll paste it over here as values. So here we will understand that it is not 8, it is 8.355. So in this case, what we have to do is we are not simply going to keep the value as it is over here. We want it to be actually at 8. So in this case, I will just use another function over here before my average function, which I want to round. So I'll use the round function, round, round. Open the bracket. Now what you want to round? I want to round the average of these particular things that are there, and I'll close the bracket in the end. So what I've done over here is I've used multiple functions in the same cell, and now press enter. Okay, yeah, we need to also give another function over here, another value up to what number of digits you want to round off. So let us say I want to round off to 0. I want exactly a whole number which is having 0 decimals into it. So I'll just put 0 over here and press enter. So the moment you do that, now it is coming at 8. Now if you copy this and paste it up over here as values, you will get the value as 8. So this is my actual value 8 that is going to be reflected everywhere. I will show you the example what happens when we do not use this function. And in this function, if I am not using even the round function, let us say the previous function, I have just pressed Ctrl Z, I have just come to my actual answer. So now let us say if I am getting a value over here, and I'll just try to multiply it by 10 times. So let us say this will be this particular cell into 10. This will return a value of 83.55, even though this is 8. Okay. Now instead of this, I'll just copy and paste this as value over here so that it doesn't change. It becomes static in nature. Now instead of using just the average function, I will use a round function in the beginning, and I will round it off to 0 values. So 0 decimal places. So now it is returning a value of 8. Now if I use the same cell and multiply it by 10 times, I'll be having a value which is returned as 80. So this 80 actually indicates that it is a rounded off value. Okay, it is not just a decimal shifted value, it is a rounded off value. So there is a big difference. If you keep the value as it is, you may not get the desired outputs. So in this, again, we have to be very careful when we are using our functions. So round function is a function which will actually round off to the nearest value. If it is 0.5, it will go to the next value. If it is less than 0.5, it will return only to the nearest value, which is the lower one. So in our case, because it was 83.55 and 83.55 is near, 8.355 is near to 8, it has returned a value of 8. So again over here, if I am using this function over here now, let us say if I'll copy and paste it at this point. So I'll paste it as values. So we are having the value as 19286.7. So if I want to round this to a higher value, I will use the function round up. Round up means after rounding, even if it is 0.00001, it will take it at 87. So 19287, it will become 19287, even after it is 0.00001. But right now we have a value of 7.7. So if I do that, 0, the next value which will be there is 19287. So the moment I do that, I get a value of 19287. So if I copy and paste it over here as values, I'll get it as 19287. Again, instead of round up, let us say I did not want this 0.7. I do not want this 0.7 over here. I am not considering the values in decimals. I do not even want to use that as my sum value or the average value. So what I'll do is I'll just round down. I don't want the value to be having anything above the decimal place. I just ignore it. So if I want to do that, what I will do is I'll just use round down function. Instead of round up, I have just replaced the up word by down, and once we do that, press enter, you will get a value which is returned as 19286. So this is how we can actually use all the functions for average, minimum, maximum, summing it or counting it. This is how we can actually find out. This is all for this particular video. We will be learning the next few of the text kind of functions in the next video.